hour number two of the Art Lewis Show. We're going to begin talking about the Arc of Bay County, and it's been around for quite some time. Its director is with us this morning, and she is Annette Jeske. Good morning, Annette.
Good morning, Art.
Thanks for being with us today.
Oh, we're grateful to be here.
So we need to start with an overview of the Arc of Bay County and what it is and what it does.
So the Arc of Bay County is a grassroots advocacy organization. We're not-for-profit, serving people of any age who have an intellectual or developmental disability. Been around for nearly 75 years. Was started by parents back in the 1950s seeking opportunities for their children with disabilities to be able to fully participate in the community. So some of the families that we serve and that are members are still third generation. And we're a chapter of ARC US and ARC Michigan.
So when you talk about serving them, what types of services do you provide?
So we provide no-cost advocacy and support for school kids who are struggling. Okay, it might be a result of a disability. We're a representative payee for nearly 200 adults at the request of Social Security Administration.
How does that work?
Well, what that means is that we pay your basic need bills using your Social Security income, right? And then Karen Kramer's the lead payee. She sits down with the person and makes a budget. What are your goals? Do you need to save money for something, or do you have some bills that you need to pay off? So
are they giving you, in effect, financial power of attorney to some degree?
It's similar, but I can't say it's that. Right. Yeah. It's only for their Social Security income, and in a lot of cases, that would be supplemental security income. That's for people who have never worked, right? They're not able to hold a job.
Right.
So a lot of people can't read, wouldn't be able to figure out how to pay their bills.
So you have that help available to them.
Yes.
And what other types of services?
Well, you can only imagine once you open the door and people come in and you're paying their rent and giving them some money for groceries or whatever, they bring the rest of their life with them. Okay? So I'm really proud of the small staff and volunteers that we have. We do a good amount of helping people with disabilities who've lost their entitlements, okay? Things like they've lost their Medicaid or their services through community mental health or...
Let's stop there for a minute. When you say lost their Medicaid, is that because they failed to do something to fill out a form or...
Yeah, exactly.
It's not because their income changed.
Oh, no. These are people who are disabled to the point.
They're challenged to the point of not having to do what they need to do.
Right. And the promise would be that the system, taxpayer dollars support them, right? So, but you lose Medicaid, you didn't return a government form they sent you, things like that, or just some glitch. So we do a lot of that. We do a lot of reading and reading the mail and filling out forms and submitting documentation back to the state and Social Security and things like that.
How do they come to you? How do you find these folks?
How do they come to us? Well, we are conveniently located on the corner of Columbus Avenue and North Jackson Street. Okay, right next to Buddy's Ice Cream.
Oh, good place.
Across the street from the church. Yeah, we're in a good location. Many of our folks ride the bus or they walk. We do not have a lot of folks who drive, okay? Right.
So, and I also, meant by that question, how do they discover you? How do they even know what you do?
You'd wonder, right? After 75 years, you'd think, well, everybody would know. Everybody doesn't know.
Are you referred by other agencies?
We are referred by schools, okay? Social Security Administration, other organizations around town, community mental health sometimes will seek us out to assist a person by facilitating an annual meeting that they might be having, right? So the person doesn't sit alone, that kind of stuff. So we're trying to get the word out. We've got a fancy website and a Facebook page and all kinds of that kind of stuff going on, right? But still, it's a challenge.
So who does the work? Is it paid or is it volunteer? Or both?
Oh, it's a combination of both, okay? We don't get any state or federal funding. We rely on donations, grants. Sometimes I'm successful writing a grant for something, and a little bit of income from that Social Security Rep Payee program, okay? If you're looking to help us out, Tuesday, May 5th, the Bay County Community Foundation's Day of Giving.
Day of Giving, yeah.
24 hours online. We're there competing with 70 other not-for-profits, right? But that money then goes mostly into our endowment that we have there for the future. Try to sustain this thing going forward, okay? Or you can stop by Wednesday, June 17th. We're going to have the annual Strawberry Festival fundraiser in the parking lot. Jeff Henning from Nightlife Entertainment will be DJing. There'll be some dance tunes, raffles. And Dale Johnson from Buddy's Ice Cream next door lets us take over the ice cream shop for the afternoon.
Whoa.
Serve up some shortcakes, so homemade shortcake for a donation. We'll even offer drive-up service. You don't even need to get out of the car. We'll have somebody run right out to your car and deliver your shortcake.
And that's when?
That'll be Wednesday, June 17th.
June 17th.
Annual tradition goes back 50-some years.
How many people do you serve?
On
On average.
On average, we get about 30 phone calls a day. We have about 10 or 15 walk-in people, but we do take appointments for things. And some stuff's simple, some stuff's not so simple. We go to court with people for whatever's going on court-wise. We sit next to you if you've got a meeting you don't want to go to alone. And we just basically, a lot of these folks that we serve have kind of made the ARC staff their chosen family. There's only about a quarter of the people that we serve on average that have a day-to-day routine with some sort of activity or job or something to do out in the community. So we're working right now on trying to figure out how we can get some more social activities going, right? Things that keep you from being lonely and isolated.
Takes volunteers?
I love volunteers. Yes. Yep. We had a fantastic, we couldn't have done it without the volunteers back in November when the government was trying to decide what they were going to do with those nutrition benefits. A SNAP, they call it, right? Bridge cards. Okay. We just call it food stamps. A crew of volunteers came in and, Kathy Talaga organized them. Was a lead volunteer. We served up food, delivered it to people, again, because they don't drive, right? So we had drivers, and the community really turned out, and we'll be forever grateful for that.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break and come back as we talk to Annette Jeske. She directs ARC of Bay County, and we will have more. Right now, let's see if we can give away a little bit of money here. You have a chance to win the daily. All right, we're back with you. Annette Jeske's with us. She is the director of ARC of Bay County. Any events coming up soon to raise money for ARC? Do you hold events?
Well, of course we hold events. Yes. Okay, Sunday, May 3rd, the Knights of Columbus Hall on Woodside in Essexville. Euchre tournament starts at, registrations at 1, games start at 1:30. $35 buy-in. We know it's a little pricey, but it's worth it, and there's, I think, a taco dinner goes with it. They'll have beverages available, 50-50 raffle. All the proceeds go to benefit the folks that we serve down at the ARC of Bay County.
And what time is that again?
Starts at 1:30 on Sunday afternoon.
At the
Knights of Columbus Hall in Essexville.
In Essexville on Woodside. So you depend on those kinds of events throughout the year?
We certainly do. The ARC is a membership-based organization. Now, this goes all the way back to the beginning, right? Remember when you were a card-carrying member of a group or affiliated with an organization? It's not so popular anymore. Membership organizations are kind of fallen off. But we still rely on our members. And our member families and businesses can join.
These are members. That's not implying the members are the ones using your service.
No, members, you don't have to.
These are the public, the general public that are members.
Right. You do not have to be a person using our services. You can just be a person who supports our mission. Right. And what is our mission? Our mission is to support folks with intellectual disabilities of any age, and we've got from infants all the way up to older adults.
Typically, how long is a person with you using your services? I mean, it could be lifelong.
For their entire life.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go to a lot of funerals. We've made a commitment that, if somebody's with us and they die, we try to honor their wishes, right? One of the things that we do for folks on that REP PE program is make sure that they have a prepaid funeral arrangement, right? Not always an easy conversation to have, but necessary since we're all going the same direction. So we do that, and then a lot of times, sometimes ARC staff and volunteers are the only people at a funeral. It just depends on the situation.
You don't have a community gathering place, though, do you?
We work out of a 900 square foot building at 709 Columbus. Okay, it's snug. We've got
so all your services are really delivered individually, aren't they?
Yeah, it's pretty much a one-on-one. Now, yesterday we held a workshop at Wirt Library. They've got a beautiful community room, and that's available to organizations. And so we used their meeting room, and we hosted a workshop called Planning Your Future. And that was the topic yesterday was, what's a healthcare power of attorney? Who can make your decisions if you're not able to? So that went well, was well attended, and so we look around town for space when we have a gathering.
But in terms of a regular community gathering for your constituents, no. It's all individual.
Well, the annual meeting and the Strawberry Social...
Strawberry Social would be one, yeah.
coincide on June 17th. That's the annual meeting for all the members. That's also a very fun event, raises money. It just gives everybody a chance to get together and do something.
So what are the biggest needs of ARC?
Right now, I think the biggest need is if we could find a way. Medicare and Medicaid say, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid say that social isolation and loneliness are a problem, right? Can affect your health. We have about 2/3 of the folks we serve are over age 40, right? So they're adults. Now, they grew up in a system that included school, right? You had special education up to age 26. Then maybe you went to one of the sheltered workshops, they used to call them, or a day program or something like that. Now, those programs have had to retool because America, the country, decided that segregating folks with disabilities was not the way to go. Now, we all agree, right? Everybody should be part of your community. But when you take a little deeper dive in that, we've got a ways to go when it comes to making this all work. Because folks went from having things to do every day with people that they knew to sitting alone in a 4-white wall apartment, okay?
Right now, I can tell you that's not just for people with disabilities.
No.
My wife passed 3.5 years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And there's an adjustment period.
I'll bet there is.
Fortunately for me, I had a lot of friends, and I'm surrounded by people who love me, and I love them. But
and you seem to stay busy. So.
Then that's part of it.
That is exactly
part of it. Somebody who has, disabilities and learning disabilities, it's a whole different world.
It's a whole different world. And, then, and I hate to bring it up, but, there was that pandemic.
I seem to recall that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, we came out on the other side of the pandemic, and all of a sudden, for some reason, systems, there's great people working in all these systems of support, but for some reason they thought people were more adept maybe at navigating technology or meeting their needs than they really are, right?
Well, the reality is because there's so much technology out there, because we're focused on it, the assumption is everybody can do it, because it's everywhere. Reality is, tain't so.
I lost that bet. Well, there's no cookie cutter solution, right? I did lose the bet though. I thought I had it made. Everybody wanted a smartphone. Everybody wanted a smartphone. So we cut a deal with Verizon, and we were able to supply smartphones at a discount. And so everybody looked great for about a month and a half walking around with their shiny smartphone. And then people would come in and say, my phone fell off the arm of the chair. And you'd look at the phone and you'd think, well, it looks like it got run over by a truck. Okay? So I lost the gamble on providing technology. Okay? It works for some people, don't work for everybody.
No,
so we got a ways to go.
Yeah, we got a long way to go, and we're just learning about AI now and what it's going to do or not do. It's a scary world out there. And if you have in some ways, how do I say this? Some folks who have learning disabilities never realize the difficulties that some of us look at and say, how are we going to do this? They just get on with it, you know.
I will tell you what, it's interesting that you mention that, because that's the deal. You know, we could come to work and be all disgruntled. Oh, my goodness, this has gone wrong or that's gone wrong. And you open the door, and the people that you serve, they're happy. They're happy to see you. They could be in a horrible situation, and they're still grateful, thank you, and, you know, and just getting on with it.
Yeah.
And so we're just down there on the corner doing life.
All right. So, again, if somebody wants to volunteer or contribute, how do they do that?
You can stop by. You can give us a call at 989-893-1346. Or you can check out our website at arcbc.com.
And if you know somebody that might need your services, same thing.
Same thing. Yep.
Well, Annette, listen, thanks for filling us in on the ARC and telling us what's happening there in Bay County. And we should point out, you're not unique. I mean, it's a national movement, isn't it?
This is a national. We are a chapter of the ARC US across the entire country.
Do they provide you with support and, instruction materials and things of that nature?
Fantastic resources. So if you're thinking about something, or if you know a person who could use our services, or you want to know if something's out there, give us a call. We'll run it down for you.
Great. Well, I'll have to do this again.
I appreciate it, Art.
Appreciate
Thank you.
you being here. Annette Jeske, she is director of the ARC of Bay County, and we will be back.
Want to bounce houses, obstacle courses?
Jonathan Dent had a chance to talk with the president of Michigan State University. Here's that interview.
Hi, everybody.
We're recording that interview with the MSU president earlier this morning. We'll be back to tell you what's ahead.
Gotta go.
All right, coming up, we're going to talk about the Carleton Public Schools. That'll be next on Focus.
Broadcasting from the storm.